following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys?
Go Cowboys! This is the Players Lounge, broadcasting live from Dallas Cowboys World Headquarters at the Star. Now your hosts,
Barry Church, Danny McCray, and Newy Scruggs.
Here we are, everybody. It's Monday. Players Lounge right here on.
You're muted. Hit your muted.
Oh, muted where?
Man.
You got me now?
Oh, man. My boy
Is that-
late. Boy muted. Man, what's going on out here?
Make sure it's not red.
Is it okay?
Make sure it's not red.
There we go.
Man,
There
I was
we
like,
go.
woo.
Hey,
boy,
man.
come from San Fran.
Hey, you okay? You all right?
Yeah, my boy had a red eye. I was on a red eye last night.
No.
He got the fuchsia on.
You know, man, I'll tell you what now.
We were here last night, watching Luka getting dunked on.
Oh, yeah.
Whoa.
We were here. So.
Real quick, man. Man, that boy got posterized. That was ugly.
I ain't gonna lie. I thought they was gonna call a foul.
They did call the foul.
I'm saying no and keep it.
No.
The dude. I'm just saying you dunk on me and you hit me with an elbow like that.
Look at
I'm just saying. I just seen Jordan dunk on. I seen Jordan dunk on folks. I seen a lot of people get dunked on, and they ain't have to. You know what I'm saying? He hit him with the elbow.
Some extra.
He hit him with the elbow.
Put some sauce on that.
Ain't too much you can do.
A little extra spice on it, but
Man.
you know.
It's a poster.
Yeah, that was a poster. That was a poster for sure.
Yeah, that was.
03. Goodness gracious.
It was what it was, but yes, 03 in the series, so it's over.
It's a done data.
Yeah, it's over. Now it's just a matter of can you just get it to 5? You play Game 4 tomorrow as a pride games. By the way, this is Players Lounge. We talk Dallas Cowboys
throw that in
football.
there, you know.
He's
Dallas
Barry
sports.
Church. He's Danny McCray. I'm Newy Scruggs. Yeah, Mavs down 0-3 in the Western Conference Finals, but I will simply say this, and I've been saying this since the Utah series. Everything's gravy. Didn't expect them to be that. I just didn't. Did not expect them to get this far. There's a whole lot of learning going on. Sitting there in Game 2 in San Francisco when they were up 19, and I tweeted it out at halftime because a whole bunch of Mavs fans were getting all giddy and people around me. I said, third quarter's coming. This is when they do their damage.
And they go on.
Why can't they figure out this boxing one? Whatever this zone that they running in. The minute I see Golden State hop in that zone, I'm like, oh, we got nothing.
You know? Because they're going to trap Luka. Luka going to give it up, and then they just going, where can we go next? And they just do three.
They don't take it. They don't try to get it.
Drive the basketball.
Nothing.
Drive it.
It's
Get to the free throw line.
Okay, Dallas on the run. Steve Kerr be like, run the zone.
Double him real quick. All they going to do is shoot through. Bullock and what's the other? Finney Smith? Man, they couldn't hit the broadside of a barn yesterday. They went like, what? It was like 2 for 25?
Yeah, right.
Man, it was terrible. It was bad.
I do love how NFL players love the NBA. I mean, that's their jam.
I'm going to tell you, we wish. Well, at least myself. I wish I was a hooper. Like, I wish I had those skills to go on the court. And, man, what? You don't get your helmet on. You get all the visuals. You're like a rock star. Plus, the pay is way better. I wish I was a hooper.
Church invited me to LA Fitness one time, and I saw his hooping skills. And,
hold on now. I was dropping. Don't let this man confuse you.
Man, we got ran off the court.
We was going against. Hold on, the shortest dude over there was about 6'4". So we got ran off. But I dropped some buckets too, though. You know, I had about 4. You go about ones playing at 12. I had about 4, so I translates to 8. But I'm telling you, man.
Yeah. Okay.
I wish I had skills. You know, I wish I had them skills.
Like I said, man, it is. You saw Mahomes at the game yesterday. So I mean, football players love the game, man. And then a lot of guys, and it's very interesting as you talk to players a lot. Were basketball players deep into their high school careers, and then they just kind of, all right, the growth is good. It stopped. We were talking to Sean Lee. We had Sean Lee on, and Sean Lee talking, hey, I was a basketball.
He was the real deal.
Got to that point where, okay, this is it. Tony Romo, people forget, Tony Romo
Basketball,
was All-State in Wisconsin and was on the All-State team with Caron Butler. Yeah. And Caron Butler was in his district, and Caron was on the Mavericks 2011 NBA championship team. But yeah, Tony, 6'2.5", I mean, boom, he stops. People get shocked all the time. I had a lady in the airport, San Francisco, tell me, yeah, Steph Curry's so small. I said, he's 6'3".
He just looks short on the court.
Compared to the rest of the guys.
he a tall dude though. Like if you stand next to him, he's over all three of us.
That's what makes the Nate Robinson, the Allen, like those
Spud
guys,
Webb.
Spud Webb. When you see them be able to do what they were doing against dudes that's 7 feet tall, Nate Robinson was dunking on dudes that was 6'5", 6'6".
He was. Look at Chris Paul.
Yeah,
I think Chris Paul like 6 even, but
Chris Paul ain't 6 foot.
he ain't even 6 foot. He's still out there.
I've stood next to Chris and Al.
He's eye to eye.
The heights are pumped up.
Oh, speaking of, hey man, my man got the shout out from Big Dog Shaq, the Shactus. You ain't seen
What? I ain't see that. What you got? You got shouted out by Shaq?
Yeah,
Okay.
man, Shaq say knew he saved his life and everything, man.
Wait, hold on, man.
Moving train, did all that to save Shaq's life, and then he gave him a shout out, saying hey to his daughter, man. I'm telling you, it was nice.
When did this happen?
It was nice.
Please let us know about this, man. What's going on?
It was Friday in San Francisco, and I get done with my live shot about walking to the locker room, and I see Shaquille. Dog team, hey. I said, my daughter doesn't really think I know you. I said, let's take a picture. Oh, give me your phone. So he takes the phone.
Give me your phone.
All right. What's your name? Sophie. All right, Sophie. All right, watch this. And then he cut a video.
That's dope.
He cut a video. You know the kind they pay McCray to do?
Yeah, he's booked, man.
Yeah, the kind they pay McCray big money to do.
Who he beefing with? Is it Dion?
Was it Dion?
Who you beefing with? Y'all don't like doing interviews or something? Is it Dion?
I think T.O. That's
T.O.
It was one of them old
player?
school cats.
You get a video from T.O., then we,
player?
Now we smoke.
This was for my child. I don't want the player. I don't need the player for my child. I need to make high five. Big dog, the Shactus. She knows the Shactus. She knows the Shactus and Barkley.
Yeah,
that's all she knows. So.
Man.
And we will get to the Cowboys. So I was thanking the PR staff that helped me with a story on Reggie Bullock that we did. And he was casually talking to the guys at TNT. He's like, yeah, we got him a horse, so we're good. I was like, a horse? He says, yeah, they wanted a horse for the pregame show. Charles Barkley rode in on a horse outside the American Airlines Center.
Heck, nah. He rode on a horse?
First
of all, how he get up there? Them hips is bad. Them hips and knees is bad.
Look it up.
They got them stairs now.
That's true. Yeah, they had to get him up.
My wife tried to get on the camel. They got the stairs now. She took a
getting off the horse was fun too. Watching Charles get off the horse was fun too.
Them hips is bad, man.
That was a lot of fun. And what hit me in tying it back to the Cowboys is this is the second San Francisco team that's ending a playoff run by a Dallas-based team here. So the 49ers got the Cowboys, the Warriors about to get the Mavericks here. And I had someone ask me on Mad Dog Radio, said, hey, have the Mavericks overtaken the Cowboys in terms of fan interest? I said, no.
And it won't never happen. They can go out there and win 2 back-to-back finals, and this will still be a Cowboys-based DFW area, Metroplex. It's just how it is.
This is a forever thing.
Yeah, and then we were talking about what was it? The mayor was talking about bringing another team in here. I'm like, man, ain't no way that's gonna happen. Ain't no way.
Talking about he mad because they didn't put the stadiums in Dallas and all the other stuff. Now I don't know the history behind it, but I'm sure it's a reason for why.
I do.
I'm sure they tried and it did not.
Jerry looked down there at Fair Park.
Work.
Jerry looked down there at Fair Park. The mayor at the time. Laura, I can't remember her last name, but anyway, she basically said, "You want it, you pay for it."
So they ain't trying to help him out.
It was Laura Miller.
Laura Miller. We're not paying for stadiums here. Now, she was a conservative, and conservative principles, if you apply them, tell you, you know what? We're not using public funds to pay for your stadium. You're the Cowboys. You're the NFL. You pay for it. Arlington, on the other hand, said, "Hey, we had $500,000. And they had people vote on it, and I was living in Arlington at the time, and Bill Parcells was here. They had Parcells out there pitching the stadium too. I mean, they were pushing it hard. I mean, and that was Jerry's thing. He got it built. So $500,000 went to Jerry Jones, taxpayer money.
$500 million or million?
$500,000.
I was about to say, how was they $500,000 going to do on that?
Yeah, $500,000. I was like, you talking about to get in the dough?
My bad.
That's for me.
Thank you for the correction.
30 minutes.
$500 million. And so that's how it got built. So Dallas had an opportunity but did not take advantage of it. And
well, he's mad at the hockey team. He mad at the baseball team.
The hockey team may leave too. But okay, first off, what's it, 2022?
Yeah.
5 years, you may not have any team playing in that venue in 5 years.
American Airlines?
Right. Mark's leaving.
Get up out of there.
Mark's going to build his across the way. They've already been working on land, so he's going to build a new arena across the way. Because all these, you want your own building.
Yeah.
Have your own building, then you can do other events outside of just own. So that's where everybody's trying to make it an entertainment venue. Everybody's looking at what Jerry's done and they're trying to do it. The Rangers are trying to do it for baseball. They're out of town here. I mean, they got no grass. It's that fake stuff. So when they leave, there's tractor pulls, there's concerts, there's everything. It's whatever they can get in there to make money. So Mark's going to go build his own stadium and have that over there. And then the Stars may leave too. Stars could end up going to Arlington. Stars could end up going to Frisco. I mean, there's going to be options. So I wouldn't be surprised if Eric Johnson talking about ain't nobody in town.
Man, he ain't going to have no sports teams in the downtown area.
Well, outside of Mark. Mark will stay in Dallas. So Mark will just go across the way at 35. So you're going to have Mark.
All right.
You have Mark. But the hockey team, who knows? Who knows? So
I mean, bro, so much having a stadium downtown brings so much business in there. Like, you got all those bars and restaurants that are trying to be right around that way.
Hey, look, man, everybody's trying to
state of the art in Fair Park. It would have been a state of the art facility up there in Fair Park.
Yeah.
Just,
then you wouldn't have had players living all the way out in Frisco. There would have been more people coming into Dallas. I mean,
they would have been practicing somewhere in the city.
That's where for football. That's where the money's made. The practice facility, because as you guys know, is where guys all live around it. Yeah. And to me, I go back to for Arlington, you had Jerry build, Jerry World right over there where the Texas Rangers are, Texas Live, but across the way where they used to have the old Six Flags Mall, that other side where they had the old Six Flags Mall, they had all them strip clubs and used car lots, all that over there. That's what they should have gave Jerry some more money and land to go have the practice facility. Put that over there. And then you'd have had the practice facility right over there by the stadium, and then you could have got players and more money within right over there.
I mean, look what it's done to Frisco. I mean, it's just
so we would all been driving up to Arlington every day. Thank you for not giving him the okay. I'm enjoying my time in Frisco.
Close to the meter. Close to the meter.
I was gonna say, but actually, what would have happened for those with money like Barry? They go over there, South Lake, West Lake. There we go. The same way they were in Irving, so it wouldn't have been much of a difference. It wouldn't have been much of a difference. You'd have had the rookie free agent living out there in Arlington in the A-Town, ATN. And a couple cats living in Lake
Texas
Arlington.
Live.
Right. And getting no trouble.
No trouble. Right.
It's like Lake Forest. That's how Chicago was out there in Lake Forest. It was nothing out there in Lake Forest. They would have had more Arlington than Lake Forest because it literally wasn't nothing out there in Lake Forest except Dallas Hall.
They are moving to Arlington Heights, so that's going to be where that racetrack was. They're going to build the stadium over the racetrack, and once again, they're all trying to copy Jerry.
Yeah.
How can we go out here and make a facility a whole? We want sports for our football team, other things, and retail and shops, and so. What we see what Stan Kroenke's done, that's all built off a racetrack as well, or Hollywood Park and everything that he's building out there. And this is going to be a phenomenal, facility. But everyone is copying Jerry Jones. Yeah. There's really two owners I think of that really have transformed the way people see venues and sports teams. Jerry Buss, who had to buy for $62 million, I was being told yesterday by Ray Ritter, who used to work for the Lakers, now works for the Warriors. He bought the Kings, the Lakers, and the Forum for $62 million. And then Jerry Jones bought Texas Stadium and the Cowboys for like $1.89.
They turned it into $5.something billion.
Right.
Okay, let's not act like 62 and $1.89 ain't a lot of money.
That's a lot. Yeah, to me, that's a lot.
They paid for it.
That's a lot to me.
To us.
Yeah, to us, that's a lot. Yeah, that's a lot.
I mean,
I'll take it right now.
Give me five real quick. You're talking about just amazing investments of all time.
Without a doubt.
Amazing investments of all time. All right, Cowboys.
That was Cowboys.
Background of Jerry.
It's not another team coming in here to try to split time with the Cowboys and take the fan all this. It's not going to happen.
They're going to have a hard time getting people in the building, too.
Jerry ain't letting it happen. Yeah, you can guarantee that.
I did not hear one thing about the 49ers when I was in San Francisco. Not one thing. Not one.
I wonder why, though. They just had a nice run. I mean, you would think the city would still be a buzz.
And that's kind of the difference between that town and this town. We're still talking about the Cowboys, and Cowboys are front and center. I saw one Niners jacket, and I saw one T-shirt.
Well, now, okay, because Golden State went through a time where they were on the way to being a dynasty. All right, so a lot of people were transforming into Golden State fans.
Becoming a basketball city.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It started becoming a basketball city. And then now they're rolling how they're rolling now. This is the total opposite of what we got going on here in Dallas.
Well, in the baseball stadium, the Giants, if you've never been there, best ballpark in the country I've ever been to. But they've won. They started in 2010. They ended up winning 3 World Series, and they basically won in 2010, 2012, 2014. And then you look at the Warriors run. They started winning them in 2015. Won 3 championships then. So you've got 2 other franchises in town that have not just won, put up 3 championships
and star players. they got guys to take you out of looking at who the football team is. Right? You're looking at Deebo Samuel and Jimmy Garoppolo versus Clay and Steph. People are gravitating toward Clay and Steph.
And look at the national commercials. I mean, Clay and you got Doritos and Buffalo Wild Wings. Steph got all these commercials.
Jimmy Garoppolo's in a Subway commercial.
He died. He just got that one.
Everybody got a Subway commercial.
Matt Stafford go to LA get him an AT&T. I'm like, man, what's going on?
Subway they picked up everybody they possibly could.
But they also have Steph Curry. Subway got Steph Curry.
I bet Steph Curry's commercial longer.
It runs a lot. It runs more. It runs a lot. It runs a lot more. And it was just very interesting just thinking about looking at their football team out there. And by the way, during that run from 2010 when the Giants started winning in the Warriors, the Niners played in the Super Bowl twice. Yeah. Just didn't win them. Just did not win them, but Harbaugh took them, and they ended up losing to the Ravens, and then you had Kyle Shanahan take them, and then lost to the Kansas City Chiefs. But it just wasn't on the radar, and I just kind of found it interesting because Cowboys still on the radar. I mean, I found myself out there talking about the Cowboys. Like, Mark Cuban's owned the team since 2000. This is his 4th trip to the Western Conference Finals. During that time, the Cowboys have yet to play an NFC championship game at all to get to the Final Four in their sport. And it's just, it still comes back to the Cowboys because this is a Cowboys town. It's the first professional team here in Dallas-Fort Worth, 1960. That's when the Cowboys got here.
It's the start.
Rangers get here in 1972. Mavericks get here in 1990, Stars in 1993. So they've had the head start. They've won. I mean, you think about it. By the time the Rangers got here, the Cowboys had won their first World Championship, 1971. So this town is always going to be about the Dallas Cowboys. It's the football town. It's a football state. It's just ingrained in what people do from the time they grow up. It's football. And it matters. Mavericks winning is good. It ain't football season.
That's true.
It ain't football season. We got OTAs coming up this week. So we're going to get right back into the Cowboys, and we'll take a break. And I want to ask this question: who, in your mind, has the best opportunity to be Dak Prescott's number 2 target outside of CeeDee Lamb to start the season? Because they've already said Michael Gallup.
He ain't gonna be there.
Right. Michael Gallup is expected to miss 2, maybe 3 games to start the season. So let's hit our first break here on the Players Lounge and talk about that number 2 targets. The Cowboys get ready for OTAs. Barry Church, Danny McCray, Newy Scruggs. This is the Players Lounge, brought to you by Hotels.com and DallasCowboys.com radio.
At Smoothie King, we are blending goodness to fuel your greatness. Every blend is crafted to help you achieve your health and fitness goals. Smoothie King uses only whole fruits and organic veggies. You'll never find sugary syrups or artificial flavors, colors, or preservatives. And unlike some other smoothie places, there are 0 grams of added sugar in many of our blends. Smoothie King is proud to be the official smoothie of the Dallas Cowboys. Place your order in the app or online for pickup or delivery. Smoothie King, rule the day.
It's game day. You know what that means. First, kebab prep. Steak, pepper, onion, steak, pepper, onion. Next, a counterclockwise lap around the room. Now the lucky grease-stained jersey goes on. And lastly, the dance. You know the one. This is a game day ritual no matter where you are. Whether you're traveling to the game or watching from your favorite vacation spot, book a place to stay on Hotels.com and keep the tradition alive and well. Hotels.com, proud partner of the Dallas Cowboys.
Want to use what the pros use? How about the official men's skincare brand of the Dallas Cowboys, Jack Black? Right now, you can get the Jack Black Starter, a curated collection of Cowboys locker room favorites for just $10 with free shipping. The starter includes 4 Jack Black skincare favorites, plus a full-sized intense therapy lip balm. Go to getjackblack.com/Cowboys and use the code word TEAMJB. That's getjackblack.com/Cowboys. The Jack Black Starter, $10, free shipping.
Brace yourself for an existential question. Has your butt been having enough fun lately? Have you been treating it well? Has it been going places? If not, then it's about time you start using SeatGeek. SeatGeek is the best way to get your butt tickets to live events. Just ask the thousands of other butts who have rated it the #1 ticketing app. So what are you waiting for? Download the app now or visit SeatGeek.com to get tickets to sports, concerts, and live events and make your butt happy. SeatGeek. Get your seat in a seat.
Back to the Players Lounge.
Proud partner of the Dallas Cowboys, from corporate homes to your home. Have your roof checked by choice, not by chance. Call now, 214-225-4860. This is the Players Lounge right here on DallasCowboys.com radio. We are brought to you by Hotels.com. He is Barry Church. It is Danny McCray. Undrafted free agent safeties for the Cowboys. They are now here doing their thing. I'm Newy Scruggs. OTA's coming up this week. What advice would you give the undrafted rookies about how they should go about their jobs this week?
Let me tell you something. Undrafted rookies, what you should do is go find Coach Fossil.
Yes.
All right? You make sure that you are in his ear and you're asking him what you need to do to make the squad, because most likely you're going to have to be a special teams contributor, probably playing at least 4 of them.
Got to be a core guy.
So you have to be a core special teamer, unless you're just some special talent to where they automatically going to make you a starter. And if you think it that way, you probably ain't going to be one. All right. So make sure you find out what you need to do to make the team and contribute on special teams, and go out there and give it everything you got. Get in your playbook. Don't be one of those guys who goes out there and doesn't know what the assignment was the night before. All right. When you get out there, make sure you're able to make your checks, make your calls, and fulfill your responsibility on offense or defense. Because what you don't want is to get in that film room and they say, this is a guy who cannot pick up an offense or defense, so we cannot depend or trust him to put him in the game.
Without a doubt, you're 100% right. And what these undrafted guys got to understand is, when you're drafted, they're going to make excuses, especially if you're in the top 3 rounds. They're going to make excuses for why you didn't show up or you didn't play to your best of your abilities. When you're undrafted, you don't get those excuses. It's either you can play or you can't play. So McCray is 100% right. You got to go find your special teams coach. That's what me and him did. We went to DeCamillis, even though we felt like we were playing good on defense. We went to DeCamillis and was like, man, what can we do to further our career basically with the Dallas Cowboys and become a core special teamer? And that's what we did. We took it to heart, and it ended up proving dividends for us. But as an undrafted guy, you've got to make friends with that special teams coordinator. You got to make him his best friend, and you got to go out there. And not saying that defense is second string or secondary, but you got to make special teams a priority, because that's the way you're going to get on the football field. I mean, there's only one guy I know of that was undrafted who didn't play special teams but made the team, and that was Cole Beasley. And he actually quit in training camp. Like, that man quit in training camp, came back, still made the team, didn't play any special teams, and that was only one instance. So you got to know who your special teams coordinator is, and you also got to read the room. Look at the guys that you know that won't lead you astray. All right, you got to make sure you got to stay away from those type of guys that'll lead you into the deep water.
Kelvin Joseph.
I was one of those guys too that, hey, I'll lead your out to the deep end real quick, but you got to make sure you follow the right guys and you get best friends with your special team coordinator. That'll be the easiest way you make the team.
We had some guys in our defensive back room that'll lead you astray. All right?
Real quick.
If you didn't know how to be responsible for yourself and your own actions, following them dudes would get you into some issues, because they had already been there. They had the experience and they know how to handle it. So like Jiro Sensabaugh and Orlando Scandrick, great leaders on the field, but they were vets.
They were vets.
Right? So if you can't hang with the big dogs, don't do it. All right, just get in your playbook, bro.
And don't when the weekend comes, just relax. I know it's a new city. You want to go check it out. Oh, what's Dallas? All this hoopla. Just relax, man. Focus on what you got to do. OTAs, because you get the weekend off in OTAs. Minicamp, you got to do some things, but OTAs, you got the weekend off. Just, focus and stay where you at.
Yeah, you got all of July, bro. You got all of July. Just focus during June, and then, in July, you go ahead and have you some fun.
There you go.
But not too much fun.
Yeah, exactly. Don't go to the Beasley.
So you guys both ended up signing with the Cowboys as undrafted free agent. Who else called you and you almost went to before deciding on Dallas? Danny?
Nobody. Like, Dallas was my first call, and my agent told me straight up, hey, I think this is the best situation for you.
Yeah.
And I was done. I didn't expect to get many more calls anyways, but the fact that Dallas was the one who called. I live in Houston. I've lived in Houston. I played at LSU, so I've always been in that area. It was a no-brainer for me. So if anybody else did call or would have, they wouldn't have got it.
For me, it came down to Dallas, Panthers, and then Houston. And as an undrafted free agent, you get like 10 minutes to decide, where you want to go as soon as the draft is over. So I'm pissed off I didn't get drafted. I seen punters and kickers going. I'm like, man, this is some bull. And then my agent called, like, hey, man, these 3 teams is going. I was like, all right, well, let me sleep on it. Nah, you ain't got time to sleep on it. You got about 15 minutes to make this decision.
You got a 10-minute nap.
And then luckily, Maxey had called me. Brent Maxey, who was our second safeties coach at the time, called me, said, hey, man, D. Camillus, our special teams coach, loves you. He thinks you can do some great things. I think you can do some great things on defense. Let's make this happen. And, ended up, making a decision, ended up being a good one for myself. But, yeah, it's tough. You got about 10 minutes.
Yeah, you gotta have an agent that's good enough or that's in tune enough to be able to look at that roster that quick and say, hey, man, this how many safeties they got, this how many guys they have on long-term contracts, and this how many guys they have where you could probably overtake them because they may be owed a lot of money if they make the roster, and they may be trying to go younger. So you got to be able to know that. And I think at that time, Dallas, it must have had some guys.
Yeah, because we had, who was it, Sensenbaugh?
When you think about it, Alan Ball was moving from corner to safety at that time.
And then
you had Mike Hamlin.
Mike Hamlin, who he was a late round draft pick.
Pat Watkins,
who was injured a lot.
Yeah. So we had some guys to where it was like we could make it a real competition to make the squad. So it worked out for us. Kwasi was hurt. Kwasi was hurt when he got drafted.
We was the only ones in rookie minicamp. Like we were the only 2 safeties. So like we got all the reps, all the shine. Like they made sure we got everything. I mean, it was hard as all hell, but I mean we got every rep, and I think that really helped us out going into training camp.
How much does it help that the Cowboys in the last decade have not been a team that spent high draft capital or big free agent dollars at the safety position?
I think it hurt them a little bit. I think it did hurt them a little bit.
I should say, if you're a free agent, if you're undrafted, they're calling you right now. You just look at the fact that, hey, look, they don't. It's an opportunity.
Yeah, I would say it's an opportunity, especially here because both of the safeties, Hooker and Curse, Curse had a heck of a season last year, but they didn't put, a great amount of, money into it.
There's no Earl Thomas.
Yeah, it's not like he's, guaranteed to have that for good forever. So I think if you're an undrafted guy, you got to look at the Cowboys as an opportunity for not only to make the team, but to maybe sprinkle in some defensive snaps. You got that opportunity here in Dallas, I believe.
I'll say this. I think they should have kept Church, but
that too.
The people that the fans wanted, which started off with Earl Thomas and then moved on to my guy from LSU, Jamal Adams. Fans, this could have been us, all right? Yeah. This could have been us overpaying for some guys who aren't going to be that type of difference maker on the field, and then we in a hole, all right? So I think they've made some decent choices when it comes to like bringing in some guys who can play for 1-2 years, and then if they have to, then they move on. But they should have given
They should have given
Barry $6 million and matched with Jacksonville.
They should have, because man, I mean, it was just you knew it every year too. Every year was some guy coming on the. I remember Eric Weddle came, and I'm like, man, y'all just gonna have this man. I done started like 2 years. Just walking in the hallways. I'm like, that's how we doing. And I knew he was either coming for me because the next dude was I think Byron Jones. I'm like, oh, they ain't getting rid of Byron. They just got him in the first round. So I'm like, man, these dudes.
Yeah, it was you, Byron, and JJ.
It all worked out. Yeah, every year. It was always somebody to come take my spot.
It all worked out. You almost did. You were 20 minutes, was it 10?
3.
3 minutes?
3 minutes away. And I got Brady'd, man. We got Brady'd that year. So
you got a great memory. You've got a great memory. All right. Question you asked right before the break. Let's dive into it. Who's the number 2 target that you're thinking about for Dak Prescott after CeeDee Lamb? Michael Gallup, who they signed to a multi-year contract in the offseason, not expected to be ready for the first 2 to 3 football games. So right now, as we get ready to go to these OTAs, who do you think's the number 2 target for number 4?
That's easy. Dalton Schultz.
Yeah.
Dalton Schultz is going to be, he may be the number 1 target, just depending on what we saw last year and how he's become that Jason Witten type guy, that safety valve for Dak Prescott. Dak Prescott is often looking for Dalton Schultz. So I know that CeeDee Lamb is going to get those down the field and try to make those big-time plays, but Dalton Schultz is going to get a lot of targets because, one, he's probably going to be running those shorter routes, and then they're probably going to be playing off of him a little bit and trying to hold him from getting that first down. But last year, he got, I don't know how many catches he got. You know,
like 80-something.
Yeah, 80-something catches. And this is back-to-back.
Yeah.
So I see him getting the number 2 target spot this year as well.
I'm with you on that. And I think Schultz, he's going to end up being that number 2 target, which scares me a little bit because, Schultz, he's a good tight end, very solid tight end, but I don't think he's dynamic enough to be that pass catcher, that option that you need to have. Oh, I'm running out of options. I can see if you want him for 5 yards, 6 yards here and there, a little 7-yard, you're on the goal line, red zone threat. I can see that. But I just don't think he's dynamic enough to beat if the defenders is like, look, zone maybe. He can sit down in the zone. He's a smart guy. He can be quarterback friendly. But man-to-man, and guys are focused. I don't know if he got that dynamic wiggle to be able to do that. I don't know.
This man been down on, you know what I say. This man been down on Schultz since day one. You ain't been rooting for Schultz since day one.
I'm just saying, they go double CD, and then they going to put something on Schultz. I don't know if he's dynamic enough.
I don't know. I will say this. I did watch the Pittsburgh Steelers enough to say that I believe that if my man James Washington can hold on to the ball, I think that he will be at least the number 3 getter for targets. But he has to be able to catch the ball. He got some talent, bro.
James Washington?
He has some talent, Church.
He could barely scratch the field in Pittsburgh.
He got some talent, bro. Because he can't catch the ball. But I think, that's why I said if I've seen guys who had problems catching the ball at one location, at one team.
That's true.
And then they moved to a different spot and they realize that, hey, this is my shot. And if I mess this one up, then I'm going to have an issue. And they be sitting on the jugs for 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And they come out here and they found a way to catch the ball. Also, coming from a Dak Prescott arm may be different than coming from Ben Roethlisberger's arms. I don't know how that is because I don't play receiver, but I think that if he's able to hold on to the ball, he has the ability to be a big time playmaker. He just has to, he got to minimize those drops.
As a reporter, that's the guy I'm focused on.
James Washington.
Because
is he going to see the field?
Well, yes.
I mean, you got CD. You going to get the rookie, the young Tolbert.
Well, first off, I mean, and you guys know this. How much does he understand the playbook? How many different plays? Because I asked Kellen, you have him concentrated on one spot, or do you have play? So, so he's going to have to learn. Yeah. But if you're Washington, you think of this. This is your second opportunity. Do or do not. There is no more try. I mean, if you can't make it here, I don't know how many more stops in the desert you're going to get. Dez Bryant tweeted about how he really thinks Dallas got themselves a real good receiver. Yeah, let's see what he can do here. The issue for him in Pittsburgh is kind of like the Cowboys know how to draft offensive linemen in the first round and how to find them. The Steelers know how to find receivers. And, hey, man, you slip in here, next thing you know, what's old boy's name? That
Not Juju.
Claypool?
Yes, Claypool. Yeah. Passed him right there. And he got the trust of Ben. But right now, I mean, the opportunity for James Washington to step in here and be a viable number 2 target is here. We'll see. We'll see. But this is your opportunity. You went to Oklahoma State. Let's see what you're going to do. I'm really looking forward to seeing what he can do.
That just makes me nervous, man. Because if you look at it, we look.
You're right.
This is the offense we're going to try out there. CD, James Washington, maybe Tolbert if he can pick up the system, and Dalton Schultz. I mean, those are good players, but I'm like, is that a dynamic enough offense to go out there and win you some games?
Well, I mean, listen,
I know we got a good defense, but
Kellen Moore in that offense, man, it's a scheme offense, all right? You're looking for guys to just be winning one-on-one matchups all the time, all right? You're looking for guys who can run the routes and get open, and Dak Prescott got to hit the right guy. Do we have a guy out there like Devontae Adams to where it's 3rd and 6, 3rd and 7, and you know that guy is getting the ball? Do we have that guy out there? Can CD be that guy? Maybe, but is Kellen Moore going to allow him the opportunity to be that guy? What we saw last year was he did not allow Amari Cooper to be that guy.
That's true.
So unless that changes, who we tried out there really, as long as they can catch the ball and run the right route, I think that is the most important part. But if you're looking for guys who can beat guys one-on-one and Kellen Moore is going to allow you to do that, then it's a different story.
Is this receiving core? Is it? Would you say it's an upgrade over last year, or would you say it's a downgrade? What would you say there?
Right now, I'm gonna just say it's even.
It's even?
For what we got out of Amari Cooper last year, and for what the plays they didn't or did call from whoever's fault it was, whatever we got from Amari Cooper last year, I think we can get that from other guys on the roster.
And Noah Brown. You want an opportunity? It's here. So let's see what they do with it. And that's for me. That's what I'm going to be looking at as they go into OTAs and go into training camp. There are opportunities here. Who's going to step forward and take advantage of those opportunities?
And you know what? I also have a feeling that, unfortunately for my man Zeke, that Tony Pollard is going to get a lot of third down opportunities this season. I think he's going to be getting a lot of out of the backfield opportunities like Alvin Kamara, some of those guys who get a lot of shots on third down.
So here's a question. What about putting them both out there on the field at the same time? If you have issues in terms of, hey, we don't know about another receiver, we know Tony can catch the football, why not put both guys out there? I mean, Kellen Moore is
I ain't lying.
the Guru put something in there?
Would you put a 20 person up? But then you would take Schultz off.
I'm not lying. One, I'm not lining Tony Pollard up at receiver. And then if I do put him in the backfield, then where am I going to put Zeke? And I'm not going to line up in 20 personnel the entire game. Like that limits you in what you're able to do. Like you said, Schultz has to be out, or if Schultz is out at the slot, then all of a sudden now you got a mismatch at the slot because you got a corner on Schultz. So I don't see them both being on the field at the same time. Somebody's going to have to lose a little bit, and I can see them trusting Tony Pollard to give them more opportunities and that big playability on third down.
This will be the perfect setup to just dominate in the run game.
Yes,
like we ain't got nobody on the outside. You know, this will be the perfect setup, though.
Ken James busted block.
Oh, what? Just hand off. Play action.
Yeah.
This will be it.
What you think? This is Sean Payton calling plays?
That's next year.
Let's take a break right here. Let's take a break. Players Lounge brought to you by Hotels.com right here on DallasCowboys.com radio.
It's game day. You know what that means. First, kebab prep. Steak, pepper, onion, steak, pepper, onion. Next, a counterclockwise lap around the room. Now the lucky grease-stained jersey goes on. And lastly, the dance. You know the one. This is a game day ritual no matter where you are. Whether you're traveling to the game or watching from your favorite vacation spot, book a place to stay on Hotels.com and keep the tradition alive and well. Hotels.com, proud partner of the Dallas Cowboys.
Want to use what the pros use? How about the official men's skincare brand of the Dallas Cowboys? Jack Black. Right now you can get the Jack Black Starter, a curated collection of Cowboys locker room favorites for just $10 with free shipping. The starter includes 4 Jack Black skincare favorites plus a full-sized intense therapy lip balm. Go to getjackblack.com/Cowboys and use the code word TEAMJB. That's getjackblack.com/Cowboys. The Jack Black Starter, $10, free shipping.
At Smoothie King, we are blending goodness to fuel your greatness. Every blend is crafted to help you achieve your health and fitness goals. Smoothie King uses only whole fruits and organic veggies. You'll never find sugary syrups or artificial flavors, colors, or preservatives. And unlike some other smoothie places, there are 0 grams of added sugar in many of our blends. Smoothie King is proud to be the official smoothie of the Dallas Cowboys. Place your order in the app or online for pickup or delivery. Smoothie King, rule the day.
Brace yourself for an existential question. Has your butt been having enough fun lately? Have you been treating it well? Has it been going places? If not, then it's about time you start using SeatGeek. SeatGeek is the best way to get your butt tickets to live events. Just ask the thousands of other butts who have rated it the #1 ticketing app. So what are you waiting for? Download the app now or visit SeatGeek.com to get tickets to sports, concerts, and live events and make your butt happy. SeatGeek. Get your seat in a seat.
Back to the Players Lounge.
Players Lounge brought to you by Hotels.com. This is a show where undrafted free agent safeties Barry Church and Danny McCray give you their take on things. I'm Newy Scruggs, just merely here to facilitate. I was reading Peter King's Monday morning football column that he does over there, or Football Night Morning in America, whatever he's changed it to. But he came out with his power rankings. That's Cowboys 15. 15. And I look at it and I get it in this media world where they want constant content. Mm-hmm. Because if it's one thing we know about the NFL is you're basing it all off last year. It's like stock returns. You base it off of last year because nobody had the Bengals in the playoffs, much less winning their division or maybe 1 or 2 blocked people away from winning the whole thing.
That's true. That's true.
Just one. I mean, it's a big one because really.
And I did an interview over at Mad Dog Sports Radio, and he's like, "Hey, what about the Cowboys winning the East this year? They should win the East." I said, "Don't say that." I said, honestly, that's a little arrogant to just think that they're going to win it because the division's been bad so many years in a row. I said, they play a first-place schedule. Mm-hmm. And when we talk about it, Danny, we look at this thing, and I keep telling people, and I think people just think I'm stupid or something, but these are some real good quarterbacks on this list, and this is a quarterback league.
We start.
I mean, week 1, you got 2 dudes who played the Super Bowl. You know, Tom Brady, who's won 6 of them, or 7. Then you got Joe Burrow, who had the football with an opportunity to win the doggone thing, and his offensive line got him killed. That's no joke, man. But you got Matt Stafford out here. You've got Aaron Rodgers. You got to go to Minnesota, and if Kirk Cousins decides not to throw the ball away, you know we've seen him put up numbers. He's beaten the Cowboys before. Matt Ryan in Houston are going to come. I mean, Matt Ryan in Indianapolis are coming to town here. Who knows? Maybe Ryan Tannehill by December 28th. Who knows? Him or the backup? Who knows?
He better not mentor nobody.
But at the end of the day, I just keep going back into this is not easy. And for some reason, people tend to think that you can base your team off last year's returns, and this is going to be. It's just not easy.
Hello, if you basing it off last year's return, you should not be assuming it's going to be easy anyways, all right? Because the thumpers that we got from the physical teams, if that's something that we take into this year, the record you gave us, that's going to be being graceful, all right? Because it's going to get a lot worse than that. I can just keep going back into my mind. First, you have to go through San Francisco because we're going back. San Francisco got out there and they out-physicaled us, all right? They ran the ball down our throat. They stopped us on offense. And then you can go all the way back to what happened after we played Denver. Denver put a blueprint out there for teams to say, this is what we're going to do. And we saw that for the rest of the season. We did. The rest of the season we saw that. And we finished off with, the Eagles team who didn't play many of their players and stuff, and everybody took that seriously. Put up 50 up. They wasn't playing.
That broke the record.
Yeah, what do you mean? Of course, he put 5 out there. It's a preseason game.
It's a practice squad.
Undefeated in the division last year. Scoring 40, averaging 40 a game. Not going to happen this year.
No.
It's not going to happen.
One, like I said, the final game of Philly, they didn't play any of their starters. All right, it wasn't even competitive. All right, the Giants were who they were. Washington didn't have their quarterback who they depended on. This is going to be a totally different year. Totally different teams, totally different years. So absolutely not. We need to become a different team, anyways.
Without a doubt, this is going to be a different division. I mean, Carson Wentz isn't the greatest quarterback, but I believe he's better than Tyler Heineke. New York, they brought that ball in. You can't believe Heineke. Oh, man.
I'm going to say he's better.
You talking about a dude going to hold on to the ball forever. Carson is holding on to the ball. You see what
Heineke did the first snap? He threw a punt to Trayvon Diggs.
And keep in mind, that was their backup quarterback. They attached all their
Fitzmagic.
It was a lot of people trying Trayvon Diggs, though. They were trying for a guy that had that many interceptions. He was still keep trying.
But like this, I think they licking their chops with Carson Wentz around here. I mean,
it's still gonna be better. I think they're gonna be better.
Can't try to make the Pro Bowl.
I think they're gonna get better because they still got Scary Terry. They still got a running game. I think their defense will play better because they're gonna. I think they believe now that they got something, right? And it sucks on defense when you go out there and you're like, man, the offense ain't gonna do nothing for us, bro. We be back out there in 3 plays. Like, it is a horrible thing for you to go out there on defense and feel that way. So I think the Commanders are going to be a totally different team than they were last year. Are they going to be good? I don't know, but they'll be better.
Let's see who the owner is. Over the weekend, Jared Bell with that story at USA Today saying that they are tired of Daniel Snyder and they're taking votes right now to see whether or not he gets shown the door.
It's going to be Diddy and Jay-Z. They're going
to slide in there.
Floyd money team. They're going to put their money together, man. They're going to buy them.
One vote that Daniel Snyder will have in his favor is going to be Jerry. Jerry's loved him through the years. And I had a buddy of mine say, hey, you think it's really going to happen? I said, I hope not. I said, Jerry's not for it. That's the first thing. Jerry's not for it. I said, secondly, and he's a Washington fan. I said, no, I hope Daniel Snyder stays up forever.
You're running that franchise terribly.
Right, keep running that thing in the dirt. I mean, he now become the Vanderbilt of the NFC East.
That whole stands thing that they had, the bench thing that they had going on last season. This is what your team is, bro. This is your
the sewer line broke on the stadium or something, poop coming down on fans.
This is what your organization. This is representing what your organization is. That is it's not good.
It's about it was right before the pandemic, but the last time I went up there, it rained. and it was raining in the press box. Rain was coming through the stadium. I was like, man, that's the trip I get. Like when they playing this shit. January 7th, I will not be going.
You ain't messing with it, huh?
Nope.
You only want to go to L.A.
I'm not going
to Miami.
I'm not going to L.A. this year. I'm not going to L.A. this year.
Well, you already been to Cali, so you all right.
You just out there, man.
It falls on a school weekend. Like, I won't go to Green Bay.
You ain't missing nothing.
November 13th.
We know you don't want to go to that.
The Minnesota Green Bay, November 13 and 20. Yeah, those two Green. Yeah,
might want to hit that Jacksonville though. A little warm down there. Sit by the beach a little bit. What time?
It's December.
I'll be December. So,
look, man. But I done that's Southern Georgia, so it could be real cold right then. So I just don't anticipate myself doing many trips this year. I hate going to Philly, so I might the Giants Monday night maybe. I don't really enjoy going to New Jersey either. I want no parts of Philadelphia. But I may have to go to Philly. So yeah, I might be about 1 or 2 trips this year. There's not many on here I see.
So we expect to see you pretty much the whole season right here on the Players Lounge.
There it is.
Mondays, baby. I'm right back here on Monday. Don't let the team down.
Can't say the same for myself.
Cross that road when it gets here.
So Peter King as the Cowboys is 15 right now in his power rankings, which is basically in the middle of the pack. And that's fine. People are looking at the NFC East teams and just saying, hey, they don't think they're much there, though there are some who are saying, hey, the Eagles are going to be better, and they're picking the Eagles and see what they're saying. I keep saying, show me what the second-year coach does. Can he be better? Yeah. I think too many times people don't talk enough about coaching. You could put all this talent here, but does the coach have the ability to get what he needs to out of the talent? I thought they improved during the year, but that's one of those collaborative type organizations. I hate those things.
Collaborative type.
When he made them T-shirts, we was clowning. I was like, yeah, they done.
It's over with.
They done. They did get better.
They did playoffs.
They got better.
Right. But that whole when the owner wants to be involved and the GM wants to be involved and the analytical department, everybody wants to get together. I just think collaborations don't work.
Nah.
You know what they're collaborating in LA? It was Sean McVay and him and Les went out. This is what we're gonna do, and they went out and they did it, and they got it done. In Tampa Bay, once Bruce figured out this is what Tom want to do, and okay, Tom, fine, it got done.
And force Bruce about it. There.
Belichick not collaborate. I mean, just whole collaboration. Everybody get a little. Everybody doesn't need to have a say in things, in my opinion.
I agree with you. I would agree with you on that one.
I'm with you.
Yeah.
I'm with you.
You the head coach. You make the decisions.
Because I think we got some collaboration going on in here.
Yeah.
Which I still think Mike McCarthy should be calling the plays.
Without a doubt. Especially this year.
He should be calling.
If you on the hot seat this year, and if I was on the hot, I'm going down throwing my own punches. I'm not going down because this man can't decide to run the football or not. Look, if it's me, man, we calling this. We calling that. I'm forcing them upstairs to say, you can't do this or you can't do that. I mean, you got to go down swinging. You just can't lose your job off of somebody else.
That's what Bill Parcells ended up doing after his first year with the Giants. He's like, man, if they give me another shot, I'll come back doing it my way. He's like, if I'm going to get fired, I will be fired doing it my way. And he would essentially say that to other young coaches. And again, hey, man, if they're going to get you, Don't get got doing it their way. Mm-hmm. Do it your way, and then you can live with yourself. Other than the whole collaboration and everybody sitting there and telling you what to do.
Do you think he's allowed to call plays?
Once again, if you're gonna get fired at this point in time, you might as well be fired doing it all your way. And there are ways that you can make suggestions. You run the ball. You run a ball here. I mean, there's ways he can not call the plays, but be heavily involved in it. I've seen other coaches do that in their own way. So, or you know what? During the year, how many times have we seen like Sean Payton? Sean Payton had his play calling duties lifted from him when he was with the Giants, and Jim Fossil took over. So, and people forget when Sean got here, his name was kind of damaged in the league, and Bill Parcells helped rebuild it. But I just can't say it enough. And you're right. If I'm gonna get fired, give me that big old play sheet, Will Simon.
Going up and down, run the ball right here.
If you're going to be a running team, all right. If you're going to be a running team, it starts now, though. You know what I'm saying? When you're in OTAs, when you're going through mini camp and then you move into training camp, that's when you need to start working on your run game, all right? Because as much as we want to say, all right, you could just snatch the playbook and be like, we're going to call and run, it don't work like that for your team. So they need to be working on their schemes. If guys are going to be pulling, they need to be pulling while they're in training camp and mini camp, because that ain't something you could just all of a sudden be like, all right, this is what we're going to start calling, because it ain't that easy. Them dudes on the other side get paid well to be able to know how to take on pulling guards and how to backside them and you know what I'm saying, and disrupt those type of plays. So if you're not working on it now, up through the season, you can't just turn it into a running team, which is what we saw last year. We wasn't a running team against Tampa, and we tried to become. Well, we never tried to become one, but they started saying, "Well, we ain't getting no yards." That's because you ain't work on it.
Yeah. Do you think it has anything to do with, look, man, we paid Dak all this money. We want him to be the reason that this team is successful. This team can offensively do damage.
I had a former defensive coordinator tell me one of his problems, and actually one of his problems, but he also said one of the great things about going against certain teams. He said, man, when I had these head coaches who were offensive guys and these quarterbacks who were now calling plays, he said he just knew what they were going to do and when in trouble, where would they lean.
To the pass, yeah.
You want to throw the ball. That was one of my frustrations. It's just, okay, you're down 10 points, and all of a sudden, throwing the ball out the city, and it's like, what you doing?
Then the defense, then that's when on the defensive side, you're just looking over there like, man, we back on the field again.
You make a big play, you get a turnover, then all of a sudden the offense goes out there and goes 3 and out or 4 and out in some situations to where they go for it on 4th and can't get it, and the defense is back out there again. That is deflating.
Man, you see heads down, guys can't even finish their water.
That's deflating. And then a lot of times you giving them dudes the ball back at the 50. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, what they say? Punt ready? Or what
you're like, nah, coach,
no, it ain't like that.
We be on the sideline what I want. Like,
no way. They better pick up this third down. Punt team ready? I'm like,
hey, here we go. We calling the fake.
Oh, man.
Ain't no way we punt. Come on, man.
And then especially if you on the punt teams at the wing position, which I played at the wing, you got big. By that time, it was Jason Taylor was coming off the edge. I had somebody else coming off the edge. I'm like, because you're going to be a punt stay. So you know them defense, man.
I had Jared Allen and all. I said, man.
How we supposed to block? I ain't blocked a man since Little League. How am I supposed to?
I'm out there in the fast. I say, hey, bro, if you come hard, I'm going to cut you. I'm just telling you.
I'm going after the
if you want to continue playing defense, you better come on. I'm going to take your knees out. I'm just letting you know. I wasn't going to do it. I just wanted them to not rush.
Before we get out of here, I want to get your thoughts. James Bradberry ends up signing with the Philadelphia Eagles as a corner.
I thought it was a good move. I think Bradberry, I know he takes the football away well as a corner. I think he had 4 picks last year. He gave up a lot of yards last year, but that whole situation in New York last year was just under turmoil. So I think he's an extremely solid corner. And you pair him with Darius Slay out there, you got a nice 1-2 combo out there. You got a real nice 1-2 combo with a D line that can get after the quarterback and make him throw the ball quick. You working with some grease out there.
Yeah, I thought it was a good signing. The Eagles are making some moves. They continue to say, hey man, we're going to make these roster moves to make us a better squad, and they went into last year. They knowing where their deficiencies were, and they're like, listen, we can get better by getting Bradberry, and I think they did get better.
I do too.
Like what you want to do is be able to cover. So they're looking around the division, they're looking around the NFC, and they're saying what we need to do to be able to win is cover some guys because there are some good quarterbacks that we're going to have to face, and I think they got better with that move.
Bradberry's a solid corner.
You know what? One more thing, okay. Shout out to, prayers up to, what's my man that just ruptured his Achilles in his workout video for Chicago?
Tariq Cohen, man. Tariq Cohen from nowhere to college. And North Carolina A&T.
Man, I heard, I watched it. You can hear
that
snap.
Pop, man.
I didn't watch it. I purposely said I did not want to watch it.
And then it sucks because he was a free agent, so it wasn't like he was working out at the facility, so he has to go get his own, treatment and stuff. But man, you could, and with the Achilles, it's fluke. It's fluke. Like I was just backpedaling with the plant, go forward, nothing crazy, and it just pops, man.
It was sad because you could hear him too. He's like, no,
not like this.
No,
man.
And it's on live at the moment. So at this point, you can't even hide it. Like everybody had already seen it. They felt bad for him. It's just like, man, that's rough, and that's part of the game, man. But that sucks.
And because he just came off the year before, he tore his ACL, so he was getting ready to try to sign with a team, and then boom. And he just, like you said, you could just see it in his face, and he was just like, nah, man, nah. It's tough, man. It's tough.
Klay Thompson kind of went through those for the Golden State Warriors, and this is his first year back. And even during these playoffs, you can see where he has moments where he's old Klay, but it's still just trying to get back. And then certain people are trying to, he's not what he used to be. And I just kind of say to myself, clearly you guys don't understand athletics at this level, to go through an ACL and an Achilles back-to-back, just to be out here doing what he's doing is pretty phenomenal. Because you're talking about you're in the Western Conference Finals. I mean, you're in the Final Four. You got to be pretty good to get this far here, and he's done a nice job, but he's still not back to where he needs to be.
And he had two big dunks, and then the one that I can remember, and I was like, okay, Clay getting right. He put the clamps on Luka at the end of the game.
Side to side,
man, flipping hips and all. I was like, okay, all right, this is that all defensive team that Clay was making.
When he rose up on that, I was could see it right there where I was like, oh,
yeah,
okay. Okay, he's and that's what you said, those spurts of moments where you could just see where he was getting back to himself. But boy, they terrorized him in the paint.
And Clay, and the good thing about Clay, his game is more about shooting. He's not a high flyer. He doesn't. With Tariq Cohen, his game was all about speed, all about speed. And when you got an ACL and an Achilles, that takes a step from you, man. So, like you said, prayers up. Hopefully, he can get a full recovery.
With him being not on the squad or not, like that's just rough, man.
Tough,
it sucks for that to happen to him.
Yeah. Football's a tough sport. I tell all my friends who talk about, oh, these guys get paid a lot of money. I said, you know what? I don't know anybody who leaves the game without some type of lifelong injury, something.
Oh yeah.
So you're taking this game. You left something. If you got the pension, you gave something to the game. Say, what's your body part? I'm like, in Canton, Ohio, next to the bus, they had to put what body part you left the game, because when you go there and you see those old timers, man, and you just see, man, it's tough. Cats, I had my hip the other day and the knees and stuff. I mean, it's you leave something, man. I got a call from Mean Joe Green on Monday.
Whoo, the legend himself, Pittsburgh legend, man.
He got the Shaq shout out. I'm telling you, man.
Let me tell you something, man. You talk about some joys you have in life, and you just look up there, and I call Mr. Green. Hello, Mr. Green.
Pittsburgh legend.
Yes, the greatest steal of all time. He called me. It was an event he was trying to get some help with, and I said, "Sure, we'll figure out what we can do." But man, I've seen him.
Was he really mean? Like, I never met him. They gave him the Mean Joe Green. Was he really like
on the field, man? He was that dude.
He was that dude.
Yeah, he was that dude. He was on the field. He played. He flipped it.
That switch.
Hated to lose, man. Brought that Texas nastiness with him, But yeah, he was that kind of guy. But you could see, man, when you see Joe and these other guys, you just see it, man. They walk slow, and he's at Earl Campbell at these events, and Earl's in a wheelchair, and
damn,
and these guys have given it. The one thing that will kind of surprise you if you've never met him is that he's not that big. When you think about today's athletes,
I thought he was huge.
He's not that big. Which just tells you about the quickness and how good he was. But football, they didn't have 300-pound guys back then. The game has changed.
Center was like 225 back then.
Right. So the game has changed, but just he lives up in Flower Mound, and he is very into the Cowboys. He follows the Cowboys very much. So he loves all sports. That's the thing. He's just a true sportsman. He's asking about Reggie Bullock. He's like, why does he wear his hair like that? And I ended up doing a story on it on that Friday. He asked me that on Monday, and Friday I turned a story on it.
That's bad. You talk about that flip being switched. D-Man, is there anybody that you played with that, man, it was the nicest dude, but as soon as you got on that football field, it was like, man, who is this?
You know what? A name y'all might know, might not. But if you remember Eric Frampton?
Yeah, you talking about
27?
Yeah, Framptino.
The man don't curse, don't drink, don't do none of that. None of that. Nicest dudes you could meet when you walking through the hallways.
Let the nicest church prayer, all that. Yeah.
Did he get on the field? And he was a special teams guy. Totally different.
Special team.
Totally different on the field. And it was like, you ain't the same guy.
Framptino was out there.
I'm talking about talking trash. Oh, now he don't curse though, but he's he doing that Phillip Rivers trash talking. He's doing the Phillip Rivers trash talking. But yeah, I mean that's the first guy that comes to mind because he was the first guy, and I was like, is that you down there talking under the ball?
Framptino? What the? Young Framptino.
Errol Spence is like that. Oscar De La Hoya like that too. Just real nice guy. One of the softest handshakes I ever had was with Oscar De La Hoya. But put them in the ring, they're getting you, man. They're giving you that work. They are giving you that work. But outside, just nicest guys, just kind of calm guys that you just wouldn't think that these are, trained folks who really put them hands on you, man. But
Speaking of Oscar, y'all seen Mayweather hit Buddy with that left hook to the body and drop him this weekend?
No, I see Mayweather swinging on cats,
man.
Yeah,
man. It was one of his old sparring partners he did a little exhibition with.
Dropped him.
Hit him with a left to the body, dropped him, since we're talking about Oscar.
I didn't watch it, but you just talk about there's another there's certain guys, there's great, and then there's just next level. I mean, Floyd is one of those. He's one in his sport, just next level. I mean, just what he could do in the ring, man, just sensational. You guys were young, but there's a dude named Sweet Pea Whitaker, and Sweet Pea was really good. But then I think about Floyd, like, man, and Sweet Pea world champion, but Floyd was that next level guy, man. Just truly one of the greats of all time, man. But hell boxer.
Yeah, I'll never understand why cats. Man, I gave it to Floyd. I'm 230. I'm 240. A little guy. Man, Floyd will hit you in the gut and have you punched over.
Man, like I would go see a Floyd exhibition just because you want to be able to say, man, I at least got to see one of the greatest of all time.
Yeah.
Like I would love to see Ali box. I would love to go to a Jordan game like that. Like those are the type of things that you don't want to miss. I can say, I played against Tom Brady. I've seen him play, so I'm still in that category. But there are certain people who you don't want to miss in action doing what they know how to do best.
I'll say this, he fights over here all the time. Errol Spence Jr. Get out there and watch that young man while you can, because he's a heck of a talent. Heck of a talent. All right, we're out of time here for Chris Beam, Big Will, Jazz, everybody who helps this thing go. Danny McCray, Barry Church, Newy Scruggs, Players Lounge. We're back with you on Tuesday.
Tuesday it is, yeah.
To take Memorial Day off. Are you here?
I'll be back. My flight back is back on Monday, so yeah, I'll be back.
Y'all hear him? His flight will be back on Monday.
The first one since February. Yeah, the first.
I should be here. I don't think there's a Game 7 on Monday night. I don't think there'll be a Warriors Mavs game Monday night.
Nah, I don't think it's gonna make it there.
So I should be here Tuesday. All right, Players Lounge. We'll talk to you next week.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about this, Cowboys? Yeah!